neurological disorders, psychiatric disorders, as well as neurodevelopment diseases. So, in order to analyze how the brain is functioning, first, if you know which parts are functioning properly, where the blockages is there, where oxygen levels are not passing properly, if you are able to trace it out those things, then we may clearly can understand the functioning, and we can monitor that functioning, and we can able to conclude which part of the brain is really affecting the neurological disorder. With that intention, I'll just go ahead with the next slide. Sorry. This is the one. So previously what I have shown is only 4. Okay. So there are so many I can say substructures inside that brain. It is available, which are all lobes of the cerebral cortex, as I already explained. But I may not explaining each and every one why it is working. If you permit me, I can explore and I can able to, because I'm not a doctor of brain from the brain domain. But I want to explore it because I want to technologically I want to solve this, bring the solution actually to analyze it. So hence I'm little concentrated on learning this thing. So I want to share that learning with you. So these are all different parts, the structures outside of the cerebrum are labeled here in italics. For example, hypothalamus, thalamus, okay, and here corpora, pineal gland. All these things are the structures outside the cerebrum. Previously, I have explained, but how these are related to our functionality in the brain. So we can able to easily able to correlate it with the right side picture, where you can see here auditory. So the part which is showing here millary band body, right? Millary body or millary body itself, or hippopotamus. Sorry, hypothalamus. Hypothalamus is a part which will affect our auditory. So that like that we can able to relate here, and this frontal lobe will be responsible for the emotions, inhibition, self-control, and high intellects. Then similarly, here cerebellum will be responsible for our equilibrium muscle coordination. So anywhere the motors of our hands and coordination is not proper, or muscle strain is coming. So for such type of things, as cerebellum is the responsible of the part of the brain. Similarly for memory. So like that, vision is controlled by occipital lobe. Occipital lobe here can be able to relate it to our vision. And language comprehension will be taken care by the parieto-occipital sulcus. Similarly, sensation, the senses, our senses are working properly, can be able to identify by the parietal lobe. And motor skills development, voluntary movement can be taken care by the limbic lobe and post-central gyrus. Maybe I may be not very clear about these things, but what I understood is the main parts of the 6 areas of our brain is very much correlated with our disabilities happening in our body. So there is a direct in contact between the brain and the physical body, what we have. So both mentally as well as the physical activities is reflecting because of disorders of the brain. So that to analyze how to do it. That is the next one, we had to do it. So since this has been, now our brain is connecting to our nervous system. This is one of the part. So our nervous system subdivides into two. Like one is a central nervous system, and another one is peripheral nervous system. The central nervous system is having both brain and spinal cord, where peripheral nervous system consists of everything else other than the brain and spinal cord. So the central nervous system responsible for receiving, processing, responding to our sensory information. But every part, every nerve under that one, if it is not properly functioning, or it is having some suffering or something, definitely the brain can able to recognize it. So now how to diagnose that thing, how to diagnose which part is not functioning properly. What is the disability the person is suffering? Is it a speech problem is there, or a neuropsychological problem is there? What is that? So how to diagnose this? So there are different advanced technologies are available through which we can able to detect this type of things. So some of the things I'm going to explore to you. the advancements in neuroscience technology. So we have so many techniques, but due to short time, actually, I thought to explore only, I thought to briefly explain about only neuroimaging techniques. So neuroimaging techniques are nothing but the techniques like MRI, fMRI, EEG, PET, and all can be applications to study the brain structure and functioning, how the brain is functioning by taking those images. And the second way of techniques which we are using is brain computer interfaces. So this is a direct communication between the brain and external device. So we can able to connect a device to your brain and then extract your signals from there, how the neurons are working, and potential applications can be developed for medication or communication and gaming purpose. So that is nothing but a BCI. So that also I'm just giving some brief about that. And apart from that, there are two more also is there, other things also is there, like optogenetics. Optogenetics is a technique where a light can be focused onto the can be sent onto the brain, and it can control the neurons, and those applications will definitely impact on the research work of the neuroscience, and for therapeutic interventions also definitely help it. So fourth one is the neuroprosthetics. So the neuroprosthetic devices such as bionic limbs, cochlear implants, and their impact on restoring function in individuals with disabilities. So people are striving to make devices with the neuroprosthetics where the disability people can able to come back with their normality. They are trying by using these prosthetics. They are trying to bring them back to the normal position. So to restore their functions as usual. So that is what these things. So I would like to go in little bit about neuroimaging techniques and BCI. So neuroimaging techniques mainly MRI people used to take the MRI scan if any brain functioning is clot is there, something is there like that. But there are two types of MRI in such a sense. One is structural MRI and one is functional MRI. So structural MRI will give just anatomic structure of your brain. Okay, so how is the structure of your brain? That's all. But it will never tell how the metabolic functions are happening within that one. So in order to analyze the metabolic functions under the brain, we are using functional magnetic resonance imaging that we are calling as fMRI. What it does is it detects the changes in the blood flow and oxygen levels, so that how the brain activity is performing. So by knowing the oxygen levels of flow in the blood, people can able to identify the activity of the brain. So this will definitely they use a magnetic field here to affect the magnetic nuclei of hydrogen atoms and measured and converted into images. The image form only you are seeing at the right side here, and this will assess the brain activity and finding the brain abnormalities and also creating the pre-surgical brain maps. So before going to surgery, people will take the map of the brain and they will dissect which part where to be taken the surgery. So this is one type of imaging, neuroimaging. The second one is computerized tomography, CT we'll call. So CT scan is just a series of X-rays only, like how we take X-rays, same thing only, X-ray images. But all these X-rays can convert it into cross-sectional images of the brain, and they can combine. If all these images at the left-hand side, if you make it, we can make it as a 3D model of your brain actually. So like that, the CT scan can be able to create it. So why we have to take this type of CT scan is it certainly give a type of a brain injury. We can able to find where is a brain injury and can identify even cancer and locate brain swelling or bleeding, whether any blood bleeding is there or not, and reveal the structural brain changes from schizophrenia also. Schizophrenia is one type of brain disorder, mental disorder. So we can able to identify by using CT scan. So the third one is positron emission tomography, PET scan we'll call. So this is a radioactive tracer will be there which can attaches to the glucose in your bloodstream. Why means brain also uses a glucose as its primary fuel source. Okay, so that tracer accumulates the area of a higher brain activity. So wherever the glucose deposits are more, people will think that the brain activity is higher over there. So by using PET scan, we can able to trace out that glucose in your bloodstream in the brain. So that can be can able to visualize here on the right side of the right side of the picture. And the fourth one is electroencephalography, that is EEG, we'll call it as. It usually measures the brain waves. So the brain signals can be able to measure as the waves here. So before the scan, actually, they will here left side you can have seen here. So a man is having the electrodes like wires. Okay, so wires can be connected to your brain with the electrodes we are called onto the scalp of your head, and these electrodes detect the electrical activity which is happening on the brain and send to the computer where it creates a graph-like image which is showing at the top. So here we can able to detect that red color which is being giving so that is it is identifying its own line and giving the doctor information the brain activity, the frequency of the brain activity is giving some disorder over there. So this is a seizure actually, so they could able to identify by using the EEG signals. So this detects issues such as like anxiety, head injuries, epilepsy, and sleep disruption. So most of the mental disorders people, if they want in detail investigation about that, people used to go for fMRI or EEG signals. So next one is encephalography, that is MEG calling it. So instead of electrical field, we can apply magnetic field also, okay, from neuron to identify the neuron electrical activity. So this is very rare actually because the device is very highly expensive. Very few institutions in our India have this magnetoencephalography. So doctors can able to doctors use this one for both spontaneous brain activity as well as neuronal responses triggered by stimuli. That means any immediate brain activity what is happening at the current point of time can be spontaneously can be detected, and any stimuli if you are showing in front of the person if he is responding for that, that neurological responses also can be recorded in the MEG. But it is a very clarity will come, but it is expensive. So it allows the doctors actually, such as epilepsy sources, motor areas, sensory areas, language and vision can be detected by using MEG. Next one is NIRS. NIRS means a near infrared spectroscopy. This monitors the brain's oxygen saturation. So whenever the infrared light uh, injects into the brain, the skull of the brain, okay, here, then it that the detectors will reflect that one actually detect variations in the hemoglobin oxygen levels in your blood, and this oxygen is very critical for your brain. So NRS can assist the doctors actually how the brain oxygen levels may fluctuate in the body. Okay, so this NRS is very much helpful to monitor the brain oxygen levels and helpful for the cardiac surgery, brain functioning, and oxygen levels in the preterm infants, especially neonatal intensive care unit for the small kids. It really helps actually. NIRS. So the last one is BCI. So these are all different instruments where these type of neuro we can identify the brain signals, how it is functioning and how the brain is functioning. We can able to give, and it will help the doctors actually in their diagnosis in the clinical settings. BCI is nothing but development of it enables directly communicating between the brain and external devices. So how on real time it can potentially can able to communicate, and it can be even medical therapeutically also people can able to use this BCI. So how it will effective is the BCI technology has been over the years it has been come into the very good standard right now. So one of the perfect paradigm I can say is P300. Just now Vijayalakshmi madam also was giving this information to Kulkarni sir. So P300 is a visually evoked potential that can be observed in EEG recording after a person is presented with the visual stimuli. That means if a patient is there, how the patient is reacting for a visual stimuli. You are given one card in front of the patient, and how the patient is patient or any user, whoever you want to depict it, how he is reacting with that. So that how the EEG signals are reacting if you put a stimuli in front of the patient. So that we can able to record it. Okay, why we are calling it as a P300 means because the potential, the frequency here happening can be recorded 300 to 400 milliseconds after the presentation of the stimuli. That means as soon as you put a card in front of or a visual card in front of the person, okay, he will react for that within 300 to 400 milliseconds. So that recording, since we are giving 300 to 400 milliseconds, the person is reacting and potential recording of this is happening. So we are calling it as a P300 method. Okay, so strong response whatever is happening can be measured by using here by using P300 method, and this can be measured at the parietal cerebral cortex. And usually this method will be useful for diagnosis of ALS syndrome, which can't be used in the conventional keyboards. So those people could not able to use the keyboards, and only with the eye movement or something, if they're reacting something. So such type of things you can diagnose this by using P300. So an example has been given here, who are the targets and non-targets. So targets has been able to identify by using EEG response here as when putting visual stimuli. Next method is SSVEP, which means steady state visually evoked potential is another type of visually evoked potential. But here, the visual stimuli will be flashing at constant frequencies. That means the card frequently you are keeping and keep taking away. That means the subject who is presenting, who is able to visually seeing, so how his stimuli, the stimuli is reacting, and how the subject is responding to the frequent visits of the same stimuli, that can be recorded by using SSVEP. So if an object, if the person is visually focusing on an object flashing at a particular frequency, and the signal of the frequency will be observed in the EEP cap recordings. It is like a caps itself. So this will be pronounced over, this will be occurred over occipital cortex regions of the brain. So here we can see how it is fluctuating. So green means 12 hertz, the frequency is high, and again it become low, and this one. So over the period of time, okay, on constant frequency, how he is responding to the visual stimuli can be recorded by using SSVEP. The next one is motor imagery. Motor imagery based BCI. It is based on the fact that neural activity changes in the motor cortex. So when someone imagines a movement of their own body, if they could not able to move a particular body of that, so how the age signals, how the motor imagery is happening, so that also can be recorded. So this methodology, this frequencies decrease over the left side of the motor cortex if a person imagines a movement of a right leg or arm or vice versa. That means if a person imagine instead of the real time, if he imagining something, then obviously the frequency at that left side of the motor cortex is decreasing. So that can be recorded and can be evaluated. Whether he is in imaginary mode or not, that can be able to identify by using motor imagery. So disabled people, we can use this one actually in exoskeletons. For example, like a cerebral palsy and all, if you see, right, patients, if you see, they cannot able to move properly. So the exoskeleton, like a robotic arms or robotic legs has been created that we are calling as exoskeletons. So those we can able to use them to uplift them, to walk them, for the disabled people like CP. Okay, so this is highly, they are using this type of methodology in a neuro rehabilitation to help the people recover the motor loss of the body. So if the body is not having motor support, then this type of motor imagery can be used. And brain waves, this is the final one. So brain waves is the main thing, actually the electrical oscillations or rhythms observed in EEG recordings especially. So the oscillations will give the state of the mind, actually the frequencies which has been recorded in EEG is definitely is giving the state of the mind, whether they are tired, they are relaxed, their concentration is there or not. So these things we can do it. So the brain waves can be recorded in alpha, gamma, beta and delta. And here the brain waves, just I explained only the alpha rhythm. So which will be observed over the occipital cortex, and where the person closes their eyes or visually activity at rest, whether it is whether he is concentrating or not, whether he is having the focus or not, to identify that one, whether he is whether he is blinking or he is opening his eyes and focusing on that. So that can be recorded by using alpha. So similarly, there are other recordings for gamma and beta and delta also. So we can further we can able to explore it in the next sessions. So with this there are some other methods also, as I explained before. Because of shortage of time, I have taken only two things right now here. And any applications, if you are developing by using a BCA methodology also, they have some restrictions like privacy and data security is there. So the ethical considerations we had to, the surrounding in the neuroscience technology, which includes privacy, consent, and data security is there. Equality and access. So it addresses the concerns regarding equitable access to the neuroscience technology and the potential for exacerbating existing disparities in healthcare and education. So that's why we're calling it as a neuroethics. So neuroethics itself is a field where its role is addressing ethical dilemmas arising from the use of neuroscience technology, such as cognitive enhancement and mind reading. Now, this is also very big research is going on in neuroethics. So with this, I would like to conclude. Maybe I have not covered the full technological basement of neuroscience, but maybe if I get an opportunity in the further sessions, I can able to give some more details. Over to you, sir. Any other doubts you can give?
Thank you. So thank you. Go. Wonderful. Wonderful. I think Balamohan has a question. Please ask. Balamohan raise the hand.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I have many questions, but one and only question. Madam, your session was very excellent, very good. It's see 3-hour movie, no neuroscience movie experience I got.
Okay.
Madam, treating with the brain itself, see, the India is the capital country for the diabetic. So reverse diabetic technology is also growing well. So treating with the brain, can we treat the diabetic problem?
Sir, diabetic is a lifestyle problem, sir, actually. It's not a brain activity problem. But due to this severity, it will affect the brain also. Okay. But what I'm saying is,
okay.
It is a chronic disease. It is a chronic disease. Diabetes is a chronic disease. It is not a mental disease as such. Chronic diseases are totally occurring because of lifestyle issues, because of lack of diet, lack of exercise, and lack of refreshment. I can say more stressful. Hello.
Yeah.
Through lifestyle, madam, can we control that insulin secretion? So brain only controlling all the body parts, no, madam. So
Exactly.
controlling with controlling with the brain and the insulin secretions. So can we reduce some more else?
Sir, insulin secretion has to be created at a certain part of the body. But anyway, sir, I will explore and get back. Is it possible diabetes can be able to resolve by brain activities? That I will explore and tell you, sir. I have not gone to that level.
Okay, thank you.
But according to my... Yes, sir.
Go ahead. Go ahead, Balmohan.
Yeah, madam, this is my today's question. But your session was, I think, very excellent information. I learned about the BCI and the scan, the kind of the scan types of the neuroscience problems, neuro problems. See, usually I am keep on attending that workshops at NIMHANS, Bangalore. So I am one of the regular attendee at the workshops. So there I learned many things. And after that, your session taught us very good technology, which one already we are all using in neuroscience. So really wonderful, madam. So having this kind of that experience, can we do some easiest way of the learning methodology? See, nowadays we have many more technologies. So previously, one of our professor, Dr. also explained about how can we make easiest education, the learning teaching methodology.
Sir, actually, this is wonderful thought process actually. Through the techniques of that, we can able to improve the attention, focus, okay, and mindfulness of a person. Okay, there are certain type of neuro games are available. So you can able to give such type of neuro games to the children to play, and you can able to analyze how quickly he is taking the decisions and how quickly they are able to do it. What is their mindfulness can be detected. So their attention can be detected by using this BCI. Okay, so such type of games are available, but most of them they are using for mentally retarded people. Suppose, for example, a person who cannot, who is suffering with a disability, cannot able to type in the keyboard. Okay, but he wants to play with this eyes only. Okay, so how can we build a game for such type of people? Means it is possible. You can do it. So he can enjoy the game by seeing just moving his eyes. So I can able to detect by using BCI, and I can tell them his signals what he wants to say. as usual, I think we are thinking like a telepathy, one type of, we used to tell, right? Telepathy, right? So such type of telepathy can be is an example. Definitely, is an example. Actually, we can implement it. Actually, so what they are thinking in the brain can be implemented on the screen. That is feasible, sir, directly. So maybe normal children also can be improved. Their attention and memory can be improved by using different types of puzzles and games can be given to them, sir.
Yeah. Yeah, I have one question. I don't know whether this question is relevant. Now there are physical tests, as in the army or defense forces or police, etc. There are mental tests. There are intellectual tests. Are there any neurological tests, either invasive or non-invasive? By non-invasive, I mean by you apply the electrode
Yes, sir.
and test. And by
Yes, sir.
invasive, one may like to check the internal capacity of the brain. I don't know.
Exactly,
How
sir.
is, how far are we from the neurological test, other than the physical, intellectual, mental test? I would like to know. And maybe some information is classified, I don't know. But if you can throw some light on that.
Yes, sir. Neurological test is definitely required, but you want to know the activity of the neurons, right? How actively it is working. Is there any, what I can say, abstracts or something is
Mm.
happening there? So that only we are calling it as neurological. Correct, no, sir? So even if you diagnosis what is the neurological problems you are facing, it will lead to one of the whether learning problems will be there or they may have a language problem, speaking problems will be there. Correct, right? Once you know
Yeah.
the neurological tests also, it will leads
Mm.
to one of the problems which the patient is suffering, or you want to just as a prevention method you can test and check whether it is good or not.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah.
Okay. With
I
this,
have a question, sir. One second.
yeah. Can we, Raman? Can we move on to the next topic? Last one.
Sir, I just have one point to make.
Yeah. Please.
Yeah,
Please.
adding to Balmohan sir's question, that
Mm.
is there anything to reverse diabetes and so on? What I hear from many talks is that diabetes or a thyroid problem or a blood pressure problem, all these are psychosomatic diseases, because once the stress levels are very high, then it inhibits the insulin production or something like that. So probably, I don't know, we have to figure out, probably there could be some ways in which the brain can be handled, so that psychologically that doesn't affect or that doesn't increase stress or reduces the stress, and that could help in solving these kind of problems.
I will
That's what I.
agree with you, Dr. Chitra ma'am,
Yes.
actually.
Yes, ma'am.
Let me explore in that angle also. Maybe in the next sessions or sometime you
Yeah,
can
this is
discuss.
from what I hear from the doctors and others.
Sure. Yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Okay. We
Madam,
move on to the
madam,
next
sorry
speaker.
for the interruption.
Yes.
Sir, madam, having with your idea and all these kind of expertise, we would like to make a 3 minutes, 5 minutes awareness science film, science awareness film. So it will be very good for the entire teaching community as
Yes.
well as
Yes.
the research community.
Yes.
Dr. Kulkarni sir, please note it down, this important thing.
Yes.
So having with the madam's expertise, we can make a
Sure.
very interesting the short film, short
Correct.
movie.
Correct.
So it will reach all over
Yes.
the globe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Balmohan is talking about neurological awareness, and Dr. Vijayalakshmi K, she is already here. She is going to talk about it. She is going to summarize the meeting we had at our first Bangalore Neuroscience Summit on 4th of April. Three of us attended, myself, Dr. Vijayalakshmi, and Dr. Kiranmai from Tumkur, and she is going to report to us. Before that, let me introduce Professor Vijay Lakshmi. Okay. Dr. Vijay Lakshmi, please come on camera. Dr. Vijay Lakshmi in camera. Yeah. Yeah. Dr. Vijay Lakshmi is currently working as a professor in the Department of Medical Electronics, DMSCE, College of Engineering, Bangalore. Obtained her undergraduate degree in Electronics and Communication from Siddhaganga Institute of Technology, Tumkur. Postgraduate diploma in biomedical instrumentation from SJC Mysore, holds a PhD degree from VMU, Salem. PhD thesis. The title publication was Independent Component Analysis of EEG signals, electroencephalographic signals, have more than 20 publications to her credit in international and national journals and conferences, undertaken collaborative projects in national and international institutions and hospitals, Rama Research Institute, Niman's Research Center of Art of Living, Ved Vigyan Mahavidyapitha Research Center, Anveshana of SP Bangalore. Okay, he has executed 200 projects. Was the co-investigator of 200 projects from DST and VGST. Research interests are design of biomedical instrumentation, biomedical signal processing, and biomedical image processing. He is a BMSc Human Cell member of CICC chairperson and has arranged many talks in the domain of women empowerment as well as the healthcare. Currently, she holds the post executive committee member in IEEE Bangalore section. IEEE. By passion, she is a nature lover and a good traveler. Okay, with this introduction, I leave the platform to her because I don't want to miss any part of her presentation. Here is Dr. Vijayalakshmi for you. Yeah, thank you.
Good evening, one and all. Hope my screen is visible.
Yeah. Screen share?
I have shared it. Is visible?
Not yet.
Not yet? Okay, just.
You come on camera. You are not on camera as yet. She's on camera and she now her share screen share.
I don't know. The multiple screen is coming.
Yeah. Raman, please see what's the problem.
Yes. Madam, can you reshare once?
Present now is window. No, so multiple window is coming.
Ma'am, you share the entire screen, not the current. And then you go to your PPT and it will come.
Okay, stop sharing.
Entire screen.
Okay, entire screen is.
Then you go to your PPT.
No, again it's given entire screen is coming like.
Go to your PPT, ma'am.
Yes, I feel now it's
Yes, sir. That's it.
Now it is proper.
Now you
Yes, now it is very good.
yeah.
Okay. Sorry for the technical glitches.
No problem.
Yeah. Thanks for introducing me to this group, sir, Kulkarni sir. And yeah, as Kulkarni sir shared in the group, there is a Bangalore Neuroscience meeting. Even though the last date for the registration over, based on our request, they gave permission to attend this. Thank you once again for Kulkarni sir for making this opportunity to visit to NCBR. That the session that Bangalore Neuroscience meeting was held on 4th April in NCBS, National Center for Brain Studies. There were many speakers like from Nimans, Ganesh Venkata Subramaniam, and Chris Gopalakrishnan, Pratiksha Trust, and KVS Hari from Center for Brain Research IISc, and Mohan Shankar Shiva Prakasham from IITM Brain Center, and we have Pratima Murthy from Nimans, and Raghu Pandit NCBS, and Ravi and Richa Verma, Shiba. There are many people who are working in the neuroscience presented their work there. And this is a NCBS where it is placed next to the GKVK campus. We could visit the campus. It was very well sophisticated labs were there. And there they have a Rohini Nilekani Center for Brain and Mind. They have inaugurated this in July 4, 2023. and they have a research lab where they're working on neuroscience, and people that those who are doing in a MTech and PhD students from NIMANS are also making use of this research facility in NCBS. Okay. Mainly, as many of the speakers already told, what is the importance of studying a neuroscience and how technically we can measure the brain functionality and can study the anatomy. Okay, already we have come to one rough area, rough idea of why we need to study a neuroscience. Mainly, we know mental illness like schizophrenia, depression, and bipolar disorders and dementia. These are the main disease related to the brain. Okay, and to study this, definitely we need to extract or acquire a brain signals. And when we say brain signals, either it can be a 1D or 2D. 1D means EEG comes under a one-dimensional study, but the temporal resolution is very good in EEG, but the spatial resolution is not good. So we need to go for a MRI and CT scans. Those are called a two-dimensional. Okay, so we need to go with the whenever we need a temporal resolution more, we go for a EEG study. Whenever we want a spatial resolution more, we have to go for a CT or MRI and other imaging modalities. Okay. Here in a Center for Brain and Mind, all these they're studying like sophisticated clinical investigations and modern human genetics and stem cell technology. This is what they are studying in the NCBS. And here in NCBS, apart from this, we also there is a Center for Brain Research in ISC, cellular and molecular studies on brain aging. That is their main work they are doing, and also Genome India, and the many studies have been conducting there. Opportunities are for faculty and postdoctoral positions are available at this, okay, CBR. And Mr. Dr. Hari was there on the neuroscience meet, and sir spoke to Arun Kulkarni sir, and ourselves we spoke to him, and he invited us to visit with the prior appointment. I think we'll go one day and visit
Yeah,
this
sure.
lab
We
and
will go one day.
study that.
Others can also join if you are interested.
Yeah,
DM me, we will go. Yeah.
yeah, sure. One day we
I'm
will
also
take.
interested, sir. Please let me
Yes,
know.
sir. I'm interested to see Center for
Yes,
Brain.
Wonderful.
sure. Okay, and
And me.
yeah, yeah, maybe in the month of first week or second week of May, I can talk to Hari because he is chairperson in IIC Signal Processing Society. Through that connectivity, we know him. Definitely, we can ask him. We can mail him and get a appointment and visit one day. We'll see that. Okay.
Yeah.
And this is after that IIT Madras is also doing some research on neuroscience. Here Center for Computational Brain Research, IITM, and what they're doing it is the whole brain activity they're doing, whole brain viewing and technologically processing software they are developed. See, they have developed the world's most advanced whole brain imaging technology platform, and also neonatal imaging system they are doing, and 3D view of the whole brain. The doctors can see and analyze the brain activities as well as the brain developments. They See, they are automated, quality control, and digital output. These are the technical gaps what they have covered. And the human brain is 130, the 100, sorry, 1300 cc adult brain. What they have done is 10,000 sections of 20 micrometer, zero point 0.5 micrometer with a resolution of zero point 0.5 micrometer resolution and gigapixel images, hundreds of terabyte of view petabyte and ground truth, okay, cost and time what they have achieved, okay. And very good research is going on, and this technology will be releasing by next year. That's what they claimed. And also they are doing cellular level imaging of developing human brain, MRI to high resolution histology, and Richa Verma presented this. Okay. This is what a leading AI company, NVIDIA, is partnering with them in developing their advanced brain data AI computing platform. Like say data processing and data analytics 2D, cell detection, cell histogram, what it all this comes in histology, cell classification, luminar organization, neurogenesis, okay, morphometrics, the informatics, whole brain queries, comparative factors, trends, and platforms, and 3D volume analysis and density distributions. These are the work what they're carrying. They explained in the meet. Next comes to the Nimans, Bangalore, and here we must visit this bank, the Brain Museum, where they have all the brain, the diseased brain, different diseased brain, and the human as well as the animal brain they have kept. Here also, if we want to visit this Brain Museum, if we don't want any explanation, just walk in. We can go any time between 9:30 to 4:30. But if we want an explanation from their end, again we have to take a appointment. They'll give an appointment. If we go there, they will take a 1.5 hour session, and they take us to the lab, and with all the brain parts, each and every parts they have kept in a solution, and we can touch and feel each of the brain parts, and they will explain. Otherwise, just a visit means this facility is not there. The visit to the lab to see the actual brain parts and all. Just a visit means all the specimens we can see and come. This also, if interested, we can arrange this brain bank visit one day for definitely. Okay. And here, Center for Advanced Research. This is in St. John's. In one more unit where the brain studies are there in a St. John's Hospital. They have a Center for Advanced Research and Excellence in Autism and Neurodevelopmental Disorders. That is ADD, St. John's National Academy of Health Sciences, Bangalore. They're also doing some developing some platforms and technology for autism children. And here, these are the different areas passionate and committed 150 plus multidisciplinary team. CMC, NIMANS, SMCH, AIMS Delhi. These are the areas where there is a scope for neuroscience studies like neurology, neuropathology, neurosurgery, neuroimaging, neurobiology, neuroanatomy, fetal medicine, okay, all these are the different biomedical instrumentation, psychiatry, machine learning, systems engineering, forensic medicine, where these are the fields demand for the neuroscience knowledge, and still there is a scope for this. And I being very much excellence in biomedical instrumentation. Again, as working in a biomedical lab, I welcome all of you. If you want to see, so far just we have discussed about how the data, that is EEG data, how we can analyze. If you are interested, definitely you can come to our lab. We have a biomedical lab where we have 4 instruments to acquire EEG signals. Definitely, you can see how the EEG data can be acquired for different conditions like eyes open, how the EEG waves varies, eyes closed, and some what we call it some protocols like when the person is running or when the person is meditating, how that ECG waves varies. All those things we can acquire and see how the changes in a real time. And also, somebody asked the question how to measure the activities of a brain. We have an instrument called Nexus 10. It is called as a neurofeedback device. Mainly, it is Sarita madam was telling like focused attention can be done through some games. Here in Nexus 10 that also we have in our lab where the it can be used to train a attention deficit hyperaction syndrome. That is for such children, certain games are there where some scores will come as and then where their attention increases, the scores will keep on increasing. Like this, we have a instrument. Okay, if you are interested, definitely you can come and see all these instruments. And at the end, there was a panel discussion of all the people from the institutions which I measured. This is a Hari from ISC, and there are the different persons from the different institutions, and all they were discussing how all their work can be recognized and what contribution they can make together. So the main thing what they were telling is database. Okay, the one difficulty in whenever the research students want to do research in this study, first thing comes is understanding and the availability of a data where they can get data. So all these were thinking, why don't we make a data bank? That's what their future idea, to make a data bank, the EEG data bank or the neuroscience data bank. If somebody wants to pursue PhD, it should be easily available. That was the final takeaway from the meet what we had. Thank you. This is
Good.
Chris Gopala Krishnan, who is a founder. We sir was
Great.
talking to him. Thank you.
Yeah, good. Now, before questions, okay, let us have a question or two, then we can proceed. Any questions? If there are no questions, I would like to do one thing which I have failed to do, namely to introduce Dr. Chitra and also Dr. Balmohan. Okay, well, I have not been able to do that. They will be speaking in the next session. Chitra, please come on screen. Chitra, open up.
Yes, sir. Yes, yes.
Yeah. This is Dr. Chitra Ravi. She is Director, CRS Intellect Bridge Training Services, Bangalore, and Research Director of Cybersina R&D India Private Limited, with 36 years of teaching experience and 14 years of research experience. She has written 27 textbooks. You must really see that voluminous work indeed, tailored to the academic syllabi of pre-university, BCA, BSc, and BE programs. She has several research publications in international journals and conferences. She has received the National Trailblazers Triumph Award for Outstanding Science Author Award from Majestic Technologies Private Limited, Chennai, in April 2023 last year, and the Lifetime Achievement Award at the Ramfo Academic and Research Excellence Awards RARE 2023, presented by RK Foundation, Vellore, Tamil Nadu, in August 2023. Her unwavering commitment to excellence continues to inspire and shape the academic landscape, making her a revered figure in the field of education and research. I would also like to mention that she is going to present to the world the first online course on computational thinking, which is extremely important. Computational thinking at the school level or even at the college level. Computational thinking we do not teach in our schools because we know we tell them calculation but not computation. Computation is identifying the problem, identifying the root of solution, and finally taking the step. She's going to do that. Okay, now she is not going to present anything today, but she will definitely in the next session. Then moving on to Dr. Balmohan Ramaswamy, he is an activity teacher. The amount of activity he does is simply amazing. Simply amazing. He does a lot of work across the country. He keeps moving all the time. Whenever I talk to him, the first thing I hear is that he is either in Chennai or in Calcutta or in Delhi or Hyderabad and hardly in Bangalore. I, I wish good luck for his family who may be missing him because of his huge movement everywhere. But at any rate, he is a wonderful teacher and he does lot of work we need to learn. He happened to attend our artificial intelligence workshop, and then we became friends, and we are not able to move away from each other, even if we wish so. Okay, so it's a great resource, and with that, I would close. Now, if there are any questions on uh, on the talk of Professor Vijayalakshmi, we can take. Thank you. Yeah. Any question?
Thank you, sir, for that wonderful introduction. Nice meeting you all in this
Yeah.
session. Thank you.
Any other question? Kiran Mai from Tumkur has joined. Kiran Mai, can we have you on the screen? I saw halfway through. Dr. Kiran Mai is working with Siddhaganga Institute of Technology in Tumkur, and she is a wonderful resource as far as the EEG is concerned. She is a co-worker with Professor Vijay Lakshmi, and they have a wonderful team in Tumkur as well. So we had other 2-3 people who have not come, but anyway, they might come in the next session. So with this, any other? If there are no questions, I hand it over to Dr. Raman, and he will decide on what to do.
Sir, there is a question from the audience.
Yeah.
They are saying that I have witnessed a number of presentations, all thanks to your
Yeah.
work. While I'm just a student with exams nearby, I would like to leave a small but an interesting question here. Imagine the year 2100, where you have got to witness a cellular technology to the level that the very computing methodology has got a new era, not just restricted to computers that are not biological as we have now. Could this be possible? What a student interested in a future like this work towards for? So this is
Yeah.
the question from the audience.
Who would like to take Dr. Kavita is appropriate, Dr. Vijayalakshmi, Dr. Sarita also can take this question. It processes with biology and technology. Dr. Sarita is still there or no? Is okay. Anyone who is there can take the question. Dr. Chitra would like to answer? Yeah.
Sir,
I don't think I'll be able to answer this question because what he says here is the very computing methodology has got a new era, not restricted to computers that are not biological as we have now. So I really didn't understand what he meant by that. So I don't think I'll be able.
Okay, this question is from a young person. He may
I
not be
know,
able to
Karthik
articulate
Dani. Yeah,
correctly. That doesn't matter.
yeah, that's it.
With
What
this,
I understood, sir, what I
huh,
understood for him from him is whether
huh,
this type of computation is feasible for any type of competition with respect to the biological things. For example, can a student can understand what is his cognitive level? Let us consider in which
hmm,
aspects he is good. Suppose he is mathematically good, or he may be artistic. He is good. So, what type
hmm,
of interest that biologically he is very good actually. Suppose a student wants to know, because nowadays many students are striving, they don't know what career is good for their style, right, for their genetic, or you can say neurologically how they are fit. Okay, so is it feasible? Like, definitely, is it feasible such type of students can be able to know by using biological, by neurological analysis? This is what maybe the student is asking, I think so.
yeah,
What I understood from his question is it is highly feasible, sir. It is highly feasible with a technological
feasible.
advancement like
Okay.
this. Yeah, because we also have a thought process like that to give a career counseling, for example, for the student. Okay, how can a neuroscience can able to benefit for career counseling of a student? This is the solution for that.
yes, probably yes.
I just had a last point to make. Are there anything like I'm addressing the whole group? Anything like learning maturity levels? Learning maturity levels. Just as there are physical maturity levels, mental maturity levels, there should be something like learning maturity levels. When I'm saying learning, I'm going into the partly biological and partly technological, interface, the intersection of biology and technology. If we take the Venn diagram and take it as a common thing, are there anything learning maturity levels? I mean, can we learn anything at any level is a question. Like instrument of learning. Ramesh sir, Ramesh is still there or no? Ramesh
Yeah,
sir
I
is
am
left.
there.
Yeah, yeah,
I am
please.
there.
Would you like to comment?
Yeah, actually, it is a very good and interesting question. I thought that we are already getting late, so I shouldn't take much time. But first of
Half a
all,
minute,
let
yeah.
me formally thanking Dr. Kulkarni for allowing me to join, because originally I was a bit hesitant, as all the things are basically new to me. I'm not a biology man. I know I'm totally naive. Then I must also thank all the speakers who spoke very well
Yes.
and gave us a lot of information. ये कुछ कुछ ऐसा ही था जैसे गागर में सागर भरने वाली बात थी. Obviously हम सबके पास बहुत सारे questions भी होंगे. But still,
बिल्कुल
I want to
बिल्कुल.
connect this point with what you mentioned in the middle of a talk, maybe the first one or maybe the second, that Patanjali Yoga Sutras have a lot of relevance in this area. As you said,
Patanjali, yes.
it does talk of the herbal effects on the say mind or I mean our state of being. Though he does not finally recommend them, but their ways, this Ashtang Yoga Marg, Yam, Niyam, Asan, Pranayam, Pratyahar, Dharana, Dhyan, Samadhi, all of these factors are very, very important in our today's life and can actually certainly help us to remove lots of problems, if not totally, then at least partially, from social stigmas, ethical issues, global terrorism, etc., etc. But the point is how to introduce that thing in our component. So that brings us to the question of IKS and its relevance for our education system. So I don't want to take much time. Maybe at some other time I can elaborate
Yeah.
some of these issues.
Good.
Yeah,
Good.
but one small request I want to make, because all the
Please.
talks are so informating, but of course technical also. So some of us, probably person like me, who is not aware of lots of biological de- details, can they share us on this group?
Yes. 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 The whole thing is going to be it is already recorded. It will be shared with you.
That's fine.
Give us a day's time, half a day's time. We will
Sure.
share that entire recording.
Okay. Thanks a lot.
Yes. Thank you. Great. Yeah. So are we coming to the end of our talk now? I'll hand over to Dr. Raman and yeah, Dr. Raman will formally close and yeah. We'll be meeting next month sometime. I will let you know. Maybe about 4 weeks or 5 weeks. I will request those who are not presented to present something to us. Please come on your own so that I don't need to suggest, because all of you are scholars in individual right. I'm just playing some kind of a coordinator kind of. So please come out with your ideas and let us meet next time. Thank you very much.
And thank you so much,
Yeah.
Dr. Kulkarni sir, and all the
Yeah.
delegates and the audience. The great speaking about neurophysics today. And it's a great, immense pleasure to meet one and all here. And it's a very profound learning to me as well as the audience, entire the students of the forums about the neurophysics. And we'll great soon. We'll meet soon again with the new technologies and the new implementations of neurophysics. Thank you so much, and we are concluding now.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you
Kulkarni sir.
all.
Bye.
Thank you all.
Thank you,
Thank
everybody.
you.
Thank you, everybody. Yeah, thank you. Great.
You.